Every major Lutie fitness power rack online review was created by someone who was given theirs for free and incentivized by affiliate links to paint it in a good light. So what makes my review of the major Lutie F22 Raptor all-in-one home gym power rack any different? The No Fake channel, checking in. Jonathan here, and Major Lutie Fitness has finally decided to slum it with yours truly, and they have sent me this F22 Raptor all-in-one home gym power rack in exchange for an honest review. But don't fret, don't fuss. This isn't going to be me drooling over how great this power rack is and how much value it's going to provide and how you need to hit that buy it now button. No. We're going under the hood. We are going to explore, and at the end of today's video, you're going to know two things. Number one, that this video was 100% honest and unbiased, and I frankly didn't take one suggestion from Major Lutie Fitness. And number two, if this Major Lutie F22 Raptor is in fact the best power rack for you and the best all-in-one home gym piece of equipment you should be picking up. The Major Lutie origin story is like so many other home gym companies in that they started about halfway through the year 2020. And they honestly started off doing only budget-based equipment. I mean, really budget-type stuff. However, by the time the Fauci ouchie rolled around in 2022, they had added a number of products to their lineup and tried to reposition themselves as being the premium budget company. They've even gone so far as to rebrand themselves from Major Lutie to Major Fitness.
And I know you know that I know you.
In order to separate themselves from the competition, drive name brand awareness, and garner favorable reviews, Major Lutie has delivered countless, I mean truckloads of power racks, power cages, and all the other stuff that they sell to home gym content creators for free. And frankly, they've done so in exchange for favorable reviews. And if you don't believe me, check out the link in the description. Just a little look behind the curtain on my experience with Major Lutie Fitness. Just 2 days after this thing arrived at my home in boxes, they emailed me wanting to know how soon I would have the video up on my YouTube channel. They went so far as to graciously give me a whole laundry list of what things I should say and what I shouldn't say. They even said so much as to not include other home gym companies' products in the video. You know this channel isn't pay for play. I told them that I would be using this thing for at least 3 weeks before I even hit the record button on my camera in order to do any type of review. And if they didn't like it, they could go kick rocks. With a price tag of $900, the F22 Raptor all-in-one home gym power rack is made out of 14 gauge steel, which is typical of your budget power racks and power cages online. It does come in at a height of 82.5 inches, meaning it's gonna fit inside any room in your home and even your closets. It's even gonna fit underneath your garage doors when they're open, like you see right here. On paper, that $900 price tag is a fantastic deal for everything that the F22 Raptor comes with. A power rack, a functional trainer, safeties, J-cups, dip attachments, multi-grip pull-up bar, band pegs, as well as plate storage. You can even do low rows with the foot plate attachment and modified lat pull-downs from the floor. They even provide a landmine attachment, which is an extremely underrated thing, because once you have that, you can open yourself up to a plethora of amazing exercises just with the use of a barbell.
An embarrassment of riches, as they say.
But you know, we need to go deeper than what's listed on the spec sheet. When Major Lutie asked me for a video 2 days after this thing actually got delivered, I told them to put an egg in their shoe and beat it. That's because you have all been using my affiliate links, which are in the description of today's video. And when you use those links, they support the channel and they help me do honest reviews. And of course, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. When you use those links, let me know so that I can send you a small token of my appreciation. Almost every budget power rack, as soon as you get it in and rack, any type of weight, the thing moves around like crazy. And when you go to do pull-ups on the thing, it shakes like you wouldn't believe. I will tell you straight away, give credit where credit is due, the Major Lutie F22 Raptor is extremely sturdy. I mean, this thing barely flinches when you try to move it. And I will tell you that's for a number of reasons. Number one primary reason is the plate storage they provide. When you load this thing up with plates, you're essentially weighing it to the floor, and that does provide a lot of stability. The other thing that they did use very cheap 14 gauge steel like most budget power racks, but they did something really good. The design that they actually have is connecting the uprights, both the top and the bottom, very, very well. Another design feature that adds to the stability of the F22 Raptor is that the uprights in the rear are actually connected at a lower spot than in the front. This is going to overall improve the stability and the support system. The downside of this is that you are going to hit your head time after time when you grab the plates from the rear and try to load it from the rear, because no one's going to grab the plates from the rear and walk all the way around to the front. Now, I've had this for 3 weeks in terms of actually being installed and being used, and I've hit my head almost once every week. While I want to give Major Lutie some major credit for their design choices, unfortunately, this design is not original. If you go onto Amazon, you're going to find 5, maybe 6 exact copies, exact replicas of this design in different colors and from different Asian companies. One thing I absolutely love when it comes to the Major Lutie F22 Raptor are these pull-up handles. Now, most budget power racks come with a straight handle that's small, slippery, hurts the hands, and is rather useless. And once you start using it, the whole thing shakes like it's an earthquake because there's no stability in the power rack. Now, I already mentioned because of the plate storage, this F22 Raptor is extremely sturdy, and the grip handles on here are padded, giving you a nice, comfortable grip and multiple angle options so that you can hit that back in different angles when you're doing pull-ups. Both the safeties and the J-cups provided by Major Lutie are a far cry from premium. But if I'm being honest, and I like to be honest in my reviews, they are definitely a step up from your typical budget power rack fare in that they provide more protection for your barbell because of the lining they come with, and these do tend to fit snugger on this Major Lutie rack than I have seen with other budget power racks. This is the point in the video where I stop saying nice things about the F22 Raptor all-in-one home gym power rack. The biggest elephant in the room is that, yeah, it's a power rack, but because of the functional trainer, you can't actually squat or bench or do anything inside the power rack. I know many of you don't mind whatsoever squatting and benching outside your power rack, but it is inherently less safe than doing those things inside your power rack. Speaking of functional trainers, even I have to admit that the Major Lutie pulley system is pretty smooth, especially for having plastic pulleys. Now, I really wish companies would stop going cheap. I wish companies would just spend the extra, I don't know, 15 bucks to go with metal pulleys to get even better performance. Now, if you did buy this power rack and wanted to simply upgrade, you could do some research and find comparable metal pulleys and simply swap them out. Small side note when it comes to the functional trainer aspect of the F22 Raptor from Major Lutie, if you don't load the side pegs evenly before use, that is going to create some unnecessary torque on the loading plate, which will result in uneven friction on the actual rods themselves, and it's not going to be nearly as smooth as if you have the same weight on each side of the pegs. The plate storage that the Major Lutie F22 Raptor comes with is a complete farce. Now, I mentioned earlier in the video, it does help support and improve the stability of the power rack, and that's true. Unfortunately, because it is in the rear, every time you go to re-rack that squat or bench press heavily, you're going to find that the plates are simply going to just slide off, and that's going to result in a safety issue unless you utilize these clips. And when you utilize the clips, you're actually going to just be reducing your overall storage capacity. A lot of people are going to unfortunately fall victim to the dimensions provided by Major Lutie thinking that they can just shove this right up against a wall, and you can't. If you want to be able to load and unload the weight comfortably and not give yourself a hernia in the process, you need to have a pretty good amount of space behind your power rack, and most of you are not going to be accounting for that when you hit that buy it now button. You can't have an all-in-one home gym power rack without including dip handles. And yes, the F22 Raptor does provide dip handles. And yes, they do get the job done. They are not junk, but they're pretty close. And when you spend nearly $1,000 on a product, it's hard to be talking about and referring to pieces that are considered budget. Now, I've mentioned this countless times before, and I'm going to continue to do so. You don't need some $60,000 home gym to get fantastic results. And budget home gym equipment will absolutely get the job done, no questions asked. Unfortunately, I feel like a lot of people are trying to thread the needle, split the uprights. They don't want to go budget, but they want to get everything they possibly could need in a home gym at the same time, all at once. And on top of that, the icing on the cake, yeah, they want to save money too. And for that reason, I can totally understand why so many people would be gravitated towards the F22 Raptor all-in-one home gym from Major Lutie Fitness. You certainly will get tons of versatility, tons of value, and this power rack is going to handle anything you can throw at it, anything that your programming is going to call for, and it comes with a functional trainer. But I would probably suggest you go an alternate route. Option number one, if you're on a budget, frankly, just go budget. Don't try to thread that needle. Hell, look at Facebook Marketplace. It's a fantastic time to be picking up some great steals on there. And if you've never had a home gym before, you probably want to get budget equipment, because if you decide a month or 2 months in that you're just not motivated enough to actually use that equipment, you don't want to be out of pocket some big boku bucks. Option number two, for those of you that have drank the home gym Kool-Aid, and you know good and well you are never going back to a local gym, simply
pay that man his money.
You got to pony up some extra money to get a higher quality power rack, a 3x3 power rack, preferably one that has the options, the availability of additional attachments. This may mean you don't have all of the funds to buy the crazy, amazing attachment options, and that's okay. Simply buy the basics, knowing that once the funds come in, all of those great attachments are going to be one click away from being in your home gym. The YouTube artificial intelligence has been illegally looking at your search history and has told me this is the next video you're going to want to watch. Now, if you made it this far, you and I are like Major Lutie and giving away power racks in order to get biased reviews. Hey, we're best friends. Thanks for watching, and don't save anything for the trip back.